Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm looking at two different pickups, both of which I've done reviews on before, but they are really kind of unique and kind of absurd designs that I just kind of want to see how they compare to each other. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so here's the Schecter Sunset Triad. I did a review on it a couple months ago. It has the triple humbucker, this Tripocalypse thing, where you basically have a humbucker and then they've added an additional coil in series to the actual pickup to not only boost the output somewhat, but also give you a much more fatter tone coming out of the bridge pickup. This isn't a unique design. There have been other things in the past that have tried to do this exact same thing, but currently this is on the market. This is produced, available, and it's one of those things that when you see on paper or even on the page in the picture, you go, well, that's kind of weird. But I did a review, go check that out. It's a really cool design. The pickup, just the humbucker by itself sounds killer, but today we're gonna focus on the triple humbucker and what it is and how it sounds compared to this. Now this Seymour Duncan Slug pickup, this is a 48 kilo ohm DC resistance pickup. It has a lot of just balls to the wall tone, and really what kind of clued me into doing this today was playing on both of these guitars. I kind of realized that sonically they were kind of achieving a similar outcome, especially when it comes to high gain playing. I was noticing that with the Tripocalypse triple humbucker engaged, I was getting a lot more low end and a bit more of that kind of brick wall kind of slamming the front of the amp kind of feel that I got out of this pickup. And it's just kind of like, I'm curious, what between these two pickups have similar qualities tonally, and which of the two is the better sounding absurd? I mean, let's just be honest, these are absurd kind of designs and unorthodox, maybe we'll use that term, unorthodox designs. Which one would you prefer to use? Now granted, the caveats here, these are very different guitars. This is a 25.5 inch scale, really lightweight, super strat style thing going on. And this is a full mahogany, very much Les Paul Jr. style LTD with really thick body, bit more weight to it, single humbucker. And there's a lot of things that could influence the tone on these two guitars, no doubt. However, I don't think that really matters, because what I'm curious about is, do these things come close to each other? And should you, if you're looking for this particular sound, because a lot of people seem to really like this Slug pickup, if you're looking for a new guitar, should you go for the Tripocalypse? Should you go for something with like this really crazy triple humbucker sound? Is it worth even seeking out? I will tell you, this is one of the best guitars I've ever owned, and it plays phenomenal, and so there's a lot of things to like about this guitar. But for today, I'm just going to play some clean tones, some crunchy tones, some high gain tones. I'm going to smash them up against each other back to back so you can kind of hear them A and B style, and then at the end, we'll discuss what I've heard, what I think, and then you can leave a comment down below as to what you heard, what you think, and, which one do you like better? Alright guys, so you just heard all the clips that I played back to back, and I definitely have some thoughts. There's definitely a lot of differences going on. I will say that both pickups behave in a very similar fashion when it comes to pick response. Even though I was hearing personally that there was more pick attack with the Slug. Granted, these are both in drop C. They both have the same set of strings. I think there might be a couple days apart. I think I replaced these, played on it a little bit, and then replaced these. This guitar just overall seems to be a little bit snappier. I think that has to do kind of with the setup of the action. These Les Paul styles, I tend to run just a tad bit higher action than I do with these Super Strats. I can get really low with these, whereas these I have to give a little bit more clearance for some really nice resonant tones. Regardless, there's just way more top end coming out of this pickup, and I think that has to do with the fact that this is a much simpler design. It's just a really overwound humbucker. I think once you get into adding the additional coil on this guy, yeah, you're getting more low and you're getting more heft out of that bottom end chuggy stuff, but you're also kind of masking off some of that top end, and there's a lot of real mid forward presence going on here. With the Slug, it's just a balls to the wall, hit you in the face tone. This is more of a sonically kind of, I don't want to say balanced because it's a little unbalanced. It's a little bit more flat responsive, but it still kind of hits the amp and responds to like the attack of the pick in a very specific way. Like it's almost like you're hitting a brick wall limiter, you know, where the signal just hits a certain point and then it just compresses. So both pickups have a fair amount of natural compression going on just because of how they're built. The Slug is definitely a bit more of that going on. This, I think, you know, especially in the room, there was just a bit more clarity with some of that string definition, whereas this was a little bit more, everything was kind of, I wouldn't say muddying it up, but definitely masking off some of the clarity, you know, and I think this is really good for the heavies. I think this might even be a little bit better for some of the more low gain, articulate kind of stuff. This might even be like, you know, if you were to go, you know, what style of music do these pickups really cater towards? This is more kind of like new, modern, genty. This is probably, you know, a little bit more old school, sludgy, doomy stuff. So either way, guys, what I was really trying to aim for here was, I got two pickup types here that are kind of unorthodox, and they're both billed as being kind of over the top, you know, in terms of what you would normally expect from a regular humbucker. Tribucker, Tripocalypse, triple humbucker, whatever you want to call it, versus the mega overwound Slug. If I had to pick one for like an everyday, like, you know, player, I would probably go with this one. I really like the regular humbucker on this, but that added coil does add a little bit of fatness to it. If I had to play something, you know, really specific on stage for just wanting a really heavy wall of sound tone, I would probably go for the Slug. What do you guys think? You know, this is all subjective, so just drop a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys later.